On days when I feel a little overwhelmed and need some breathing space, I head to an art supply store. I don't even have to buy anything, though I usually do. Just being surrounded by brushes, papers and paints fills me with joy. Boesner is my favorite place in Frankfurt because here I can always find everything I need. And the brands I usually work with like Schminke, Winsor & Newton or Sennelier. So come along with me, I'll take you inside Boesner and show you around. I'll share some of my favorite corners of the shop and a few products that always catch my eye. I must confess, my favorite art stores are the iconic old ones full of history and character. Giant warehouses like these are incredibly practical. They offer so much choice, but they lack that sense of charm and tradition that feels so inspired to an artist. Sadly, I've never found an old art store in Frankfurt, so Boesner became my go-to place. I can never leave Boesner without walking through the watercolor section. Even though the display never really changes, I still have to look at it. My collection is already big enough, but somehow I always end up adding a new color. It's almost like going to Portugal and not having a pastel de nata. I also have a weakness for sketchbooks. I like to flip through them, feel the paper, imagine what I could draw inside. And even if I already have plenty at home, I usually bring one more. Some are still waiting patiently to be used. Back home, I want to share with you a few treasures I found. The first was Arches cold press watercolor paper. I always choose single sheets instead of blocks, more affordable, more flexible, and I love stretching the paper myself. It's the best way I know to avoid buckling. I also treated myself to 3 sketchbooks. The Venezia book by Fabriano, close to A4 in size. I bought it for a future YouTube project I'm already dreaming about. A Han Muller watercolor book. I adore my Etcher sketchbook, but since it's landscape format, I sometimes feel restricted. So I wanted another one in a different format. And that's also why I take forever to finish sketchbooks, because I keep adding more to my collection. And the simple Boesner drawing sketchbook, I always keep inexpensive ones on hand for practicing. I use them as ugly sketchbooks to try out ideas or tackle subjects I don't feel confident drawing yet. They become little experimental catalogs full of discoveries. I also bought a brush holder. I recently learned that brushes should be dry upside down, not upright. That way, water doesn't remain in the ferrule and the brush lasts much longer. A pan pastel in soft toasted yellow. These pastels create a velvety, ethereal quality that blends beautiful into illustrations. A blending stump perfect for soft shading and smudging colored pencils. Speaking of pencils, I pick up my all-time favorite, the Ivory Black from Caran d'Ache Pablo. I use it constantly in my visual journal, so every time I visit Boesner, I make sure to grab a new one. I also grabbed the white Caran d'Ache Neocolor One Wax Crayon, the non-water soluble kind. Among the watercolors, from Winsor & Newton, I picked Natural Tint, a color that's wonderful for desaturating tones and layering shadows. One of my happiest finds was Schmincke's Super Granulating Pink Galaxy. I already love Tundra Pink, it's in almost all my paintings. From Sennelier, I couldn't resist Van Dyke Brown, a shade with such rich depth. From Daniel Smith, I brought 4 colors to try it: Italian Venetian Red, Buff Titanium, Coral Reef, and Prussian Green. I also picked up a simple A3 portfolio to store my watercolor sheets. My studio is quite small, so I'm always collecting these folders to keep my papers safe and organized. And finally, a ceramic palette, because I like to dedicate one to each project and somehow I always run out of space. Now let's test the watercolors. The very first thing I always do when I bring new paints home is to swatch them, seeing how the pigments look at their most intense and how they behave when diluted with lots of water. I absolutely love these shades. Schmincke's Galaxy Pink is luminous and magical. I know I'll use it a lot. The Sennelier Van Dyke Brown is so rich and deep, like pure dark chocolate, and I adore that kind of shade. I'd been wanting to try Daniel Smith watercolors for such a long time, but since they weren't available at Boesner, I always postpone ordering them online. So when I finally found them in the store, I was really happy. The coral red is something completely different, very bold and striking. I choose these colors quite randomly, but once I tested them together on paper, I realized how beautifully they complement each other. That made me really excited to try this palette in an illustration, so I thought I'd make a little demo here in this video. After swatching, I usually transfer the paints into half pans and let them dry. Later, they're so much easier to use. There's something meditative in feeling those little pans and watching the color slowly set. Now I want to see how these colors work together in an illustration. I'll use a sketch I made a few days ago in my little yellow talent sketchbook. Nothing to elaborate, just a small drawing to test how these shades behave side by side and how they blend into each other on paper. I hope you enjoyed walking with me through Boesner and sharing this quiet painting moment at home. Days like these, quiet, simple, filled with little joys, are what make life sweet. See you in the next video. Bye!